I remember the first time I heard someone say they were going to get rich off a stock. I was 23, working at a coffee shop, and this regular customer came in every morning always talking about the market. One day, he told me he'd put everything, and I mean everything, into this tech IPO everyone was buzzing about. Said it was a sure thing. 3 months later, he stopped coming in. I heard through someone else that he'd lost most of it. Not because the company was bad, because he bought at the peak, right when everyone else did, right when the hype was loudest. I think about that guy a lot these days, especially now. SpaceX is about to go public in what's being called the largest IPO in stock market history, targeting a $75 billion raise at a $1.75 trillion valuation. The stock is expected to start trading on June 12th under ticker symbol SPCX, and the internet is absolutely losing its mind. Everyone wants in. Retail investors are scrambling. The hype is deafening, and honestly, that's exactly what worries me. Because here's the thing no one's talking about. Analysts at Morningstar just valued SpaceX at $780 billion, which is roughly 48% below its private market valuation going into this IPO. Think about that for a second. The company might be worth less than half what it's asking you to pay. Morningstar's analysts wrote that the company has been significantly overvalued and investors will have opportunities to buy the stock at more attractive levels after the IPO. Not before, after. But you know what's wild? That research probably won't stop anyone. The hype machine is too loud. The name is too big. Elon Musk, Mars missions, Starlink satellites. The narrative is intoxicating. And that narrative? It's everything. Let me tell you what I've learned watching markets for years. The best time to buy is almost never when everyone's talking about it. It's later. When the noise dies down, when reality sets in, when the stock dips because it didn't live up to the fantasy investors built in their heads. Wall Street is already warning that demand for SpaceX will trigger massive selling across the market as investors liquidate other positions to raise cash for this one stock. Basically, people are going to dump their winners to chase this IPO. Does that sound like rational decision-making to you? Here's what else nobody's mentioning. SpaceX's AI division, which is a huge part of this valuation now, has collected $4 billion in revenue, but absorbed over $8.9 billion in operating losses in just 5 quarters. The company recorded a net loss of $4.28 billion in the latest quarter. This isn't a profitable company yet, it's a bet. A very expensive bet. And yeah, SpaceX has done incredible things. It rolled out Starlink in 2021, completely changing satellite internet. It's launched more rockets than anyone. It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible. I'm not saying it's a bad company. I'm saying it might be a bad buy at this price, right now, in this moment of maximum hype. You want to know something that really got me? After the IPO, Elon Musk will still own over 82% of the voting control. He can't be removed from office by a shareholder vote and is free to name a board dominated by insiders. So you're buying into a company where your vote as a shareholder means basically nothing. You own a piece of the profits, if there are any, but you have zero say in how it's run, which is insane when you think about it. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, that's your call, but I am here to ask you to slow down, to think, to remember that the loudest moment is rarely the smartest moment to act. Analysts are already warning that retail investors are behaving in a FOMO-style rally-chasing manner, and that this type of herd behavior tends to amplify moves and create fatter tails. Translation: people are acting on emotion, not logic, and when the crowd moves together like that, someone always gets left holding the bag. Here's what I wish someone had told that guy at the coffee shop all those years ago. Excitement is not a strategy. FOMO is not analysis. Just because everyone's talking about it doesn't mean you need to be first in line. The companies that change the world don't stop being great investments a month after they go public. If SpaceX is truly worth $1.75 trillion, it'll still be worth that in 3 months, 6 months, a year. But if it's overvalued, if the hype inflated the price beyond what the fundamentals support, then waiting means you get a better deal, a safer entry point, a smarter position. Even Morningstar said that long-term investors will have opportunities with a greater margin of safety down the line, and that they expect the share price may even ascend, at least for a time, after the IPO before reality kicks in. They're literally telling you this will probably go up at first because of the hype. Then it'll come back down. And that's when the real opportunity appears. I think about wealth differently now than I did when I was younger. I used to think it was about being first, about catching lightning in a bottle, about getting in before everyone else. But the people I know who've actually built wealth, they're patient, they're boring. They wait for the right price, not the right story. They don't chase, they calculate. So here's my question for you. Are you investing in SpaceX because you've run the numbers, because you believe in the long-term fundamentals, because you've considered the valuation and the risks and you still think it's a sound decision? Or are you buying because you don't want to miss out? Because it feels like everyone else is doing it? Because the idea of owning a piece of a Mars mission is just too cool to pass up? One of those reasons leads to wealth, the other leads to regret. I'm not saying don't invest in SpaceX. Maybe it turns out to be the greatest investment of the decade. Maybe those analysts are wrong. Maybe Musk pulls off something nobody expected, and this thing rockets past every projection. It's possible. Anything's possible. But I am saying this. Don't let hype make your decisions. Don't let FOMO spend your money. And don't ever, ever put in more than you can afford to lose just because you're afraid of being left behind. The market will always give you another chance. There will always be another opportunity. But the money you lose chasing the wrong one at the wrong time, that's gone. So take a breath. Do the research. Wait for the dust to settle. And remember that the best investors aren't the ones who act fastest. They're the ones who act smartest. The SpaceX IPO is worse than you think. Not because SpaceX is bad, but because the hype is too loud, the price is too high, and the moment is too perfect for people to make emotional decisions they'll regret later. Don't be that person.